Welcome back to Rivals of the East post-game show here. Host Buzz with co-host Sean. What a wonderful last two nights of football, Sean. We had prime time back-to-back games. Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers at prime time Sunday night. And then tonight, the Patriots taking on the Bears in prime time on Monday night. And quite frankly, not the best games.
So I just want to wrap the tiny little bow on what you want to call a dumpster pile heap of shit, which we've witnessed in the past two games.
Mm.
What was the score of the Miami game?
16-10. And if you missed the second half, you didn't
16
miss
to
any
10, my
points.
friend. Yeah, that is correct. 16 to 10, as we saw Kenny Pickett throw many a picket, and you saw Tua Tagovailoa not be able to play in his own state's weather because guess what, folks? That's what you wanted to call it. You called it Florida weather. And guess what? It rains in Florida. Unlike most of you Miami fans, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. It is a rainy state. It's a little humid. It's not an excuse when your football player of a quarterback cannot throw passes in said weather. He broke out with what I believe 235 passing yards in the first half, yet was unable to put the game away in the second half, as well as the running game, which I do believe you invested a pretty good penny on that. However, talking about that Miami game early off, let's go ahead and tee off,
Well,
which is another sport we like to do in Florida. Because guess what? It's probably a better sport than what I saw on Sunday night, folks.
I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out here, everybody. Sean, you've probably felt this way about some things. You ever like play something and whether it's a game on Madden or you play billiards or you do, play real football in reality here in real life,
Or beer pong or throw a rock at
just
the side of the wall.
something where you did everything wrong, but the other person or the other team was just so bad that even though you won, you felt like you lost. That was this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to flat out tell everybody right now, this isn't a pat on the back of the Miami Dolphins and their season. We are not a playoff team. I'm going to tell you right now, we are not a playoff caliber team. We are a team that is not finding the footing that we need to, unfortunately. I understand that this is Tua's first game back in a few weeks, not a few months, though. You can look at this game, and Mike McDaniel was completely figured out in the first quarter by Mike Tomlin and had no answers. The rest of the game, no answers. We scored 3 points in that second quarter, which, by the way, that time management in the last within 2 minutes when they did get the ball back, yikes. I'm just gonna flat out say it. I'm looking at this game, and to be honest with you, I was not impressed, and I really wasn't impressed by anything that I saw on this Miami's team, except for Javon Holland and Noah Igbenogany makes the game-saving interception.
Yeah, game-saving interception that if he made plays, early in the second half wouldn't have occurred, so he wouldn't have to make. I'm just going to go ahead and say, guys, hey, if you're a defensive back, okay, you have a receiver running on your inside on the sideline, it's probably beneficial if you don't turn the opposite way and have your back facing him, which, by the way, is what he did. And he gave up a huge completion by Kenny Pickett on the inside. Okay, so if it's debatable if he just made that simple defensive configuration, the game was never in jeopardy to begin with for him to make a game-saving interception, guys. Okay, so when you sit there and you say, hey, Miami lands, you owe him an apology. If you just made the play to begin with, you wouldn't have been in that situation. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and say, pat on the back. Pat on the back, Brian Flores. You're right. He was terrible. Thank you, sir.
I know that there's a lot of Miami fans out there who were big Tua stands. And, listen, I want the Miami Dolphins to succeed. And Chris Collinsworth said on Sunday Night Football, before I talk about two major things, Tua and the Dolphins are 4-0 when he starts and finishes the game. And so that's the talking point is Tua and the
If that's a
Dolphins.
stat,
Listen, Tua should have been picked off 4 times. I've never
four
seen anything
times,
like that.
I'm gonna go six. I'm gonna go six.
Well, listen, you could argue that. I'm just going to go with some simple bad throws, not good coverage. 4 times. And I'm going to be honest with everybody. I hear these excuses of saying it was the weather that was causing the inaccuracy. Maybe it was Tua's rust game. Okay, let me put something in perspective here.
He's been doing that.
This Tua that you saw on Sunday night, how was it any different than Tua in 2021?
No
What was
different.
different? What was
It's
different?
not.
You had the opening drive touchdown, which by the way was the first time we've had that all year. You had the opening drive touchdown. Wasn't that a key thing that Miami did in 2021? They got an opening drive touchdown almost every week. Yeah. And then nothing. What happened in this game? Opening drive touchdown. Move the ball, nothing. And the other thing I want to talk about too is the analytics, as Chris Collinsworth would say. We're up 16-10, and we have 2 yards to go. Okay, 2 yards to go. And we are in field goal range, and Mike McDaniel elects to go for it on 4th and 2 instead of taking the points and making it a 9-point game. And of
Real
course,
head scratcher.
we give it
Real
to our
head
best
scratcher.
running back on the team, Chase Edmonds. That's sarcasm. And he gets 0 yards
And
and turns the
guys,
ball over.
when Buzz talks about that play, it's something I made multiple comments during the game talking to Buzz about. Is I will say, as most teams offensively, when they go out on the first drive, that's usually one of their better drives. It's scripted, as you may know. Offensive play caller goes out with a set of plays. Defense is on their heels typically because they don't know what to expect. As you may know, the Miami Dolphins are not a good running team. However, that opening script of the drive, they had a few good runs. There was a lot of mixed motion, actually similar to what you saw in San Fran. Hey, interesting. I'm pretty sure there's a connection there. But you'll see a lot of motioning rights, a lot of rollouts, even though he's a left-handed quarterback. And you'll see a lot of dump offs in the flats that actually converted to 8-10 yard plays. And that did work out. So in that play call specifically on 4th down, hey, I'm just going to tell you, when it's that late in the game and you're not running the ball, in fact, I think you had more negative plays at that point running the ball than you did positive. So when you roll out right and try to go for play action look, and he hands it off to Edmonds going left across the plate that actually has been working for you, it kind of doesn't work. And as we saw, he was stopped 2 yards short. It wasn't even close. In fact, he was tripping over his own backfield mates trying to go forward. It was pretty embarrassing.
By the way, for those wondering, there are some bright spots that I do have, and I'll talk about this in a minute. But I want to get the other negative thing. Hey, listen, I'm a fair man.
You're
I'm
a
not.
good man.
I'm a fair
A man's
man.
man.
That's right. And listen, don't let the facial hair fool you. A very, very kind person. Okay.
Hey, just because I'm lacking doesn't mean they lack on offense.
Yeah. So here's what I have to say. Brandon Jones is confirmed as of today. He's going to IR per McDaniel, and McDaniel is not
That's a
confident.
real loss.
Right. Doesn't help. We're already depleted. So free safety. Brandon Jones is being put on IR with not a lot of optimism he's coming back this year. That's what McDaniel said. The interesting thing is, of course, we got Eric Rowe, who's coming in now to fill that space. Rowe's played safety. He's played corner, as you know, Sean. Spent some time
I'm
in New England.
familiar. Yeah,
So
he's the guy. There's a guy.
now here's a guy. So here's the other side, though. Interesting piece came out. You're probably thinking, well, we got to get Byron Jones back at some point. Nope. As per the NFL, we have until week 9 to activate him off the pup list. Otherwise, he cannot be activated at all for the rest of the year. Now, here's the other kicker. Article came out by Barry Jackson, reported and said that Byron Jones was getting paid $5.9 million this year if he was healthy. Or he could opt to get a surgery and make $14.4 million. Now,
You
in the
tell me.
offseason, Sean, as you know, J.C. Jackson was a very, very hot free agent at corner
He still is, in my opinion. I know he's on IR currently
for the season.
for the Chargers based off a knee injury,
Yes.
but you continue with what you're saying, I might still go with it.
Yes. So we were in talks with J.C. Jackson. We were interested, as with the Chargers. Byron Jones's camp, of course, knows that. So Byron Jones elected to have the surgery to say, you're going to pay me one way or another. Can you sit there and say, what an asshole? Sure. But if you're in that position, would you do the same thing? Of course. I'd do the
Yes.
same thing. Of course.
If you don't think I'd blow out that knee for Krispy Kreme right on the moment, you're a fool. I would blow out that knee faster than the Patriots defense on a Monday night game against Justin Fields rolling out.
Which we're going to talk about here. But long story short, folks, Byron Jones is not coming back this year. Don't expect to see him playing. Brandon Jones is now on IR. He's probably not coming back. Our defense is beat up. It ain't good. I'll give credit to Boyer for doing what he can with it. The bright spots in the game, real quick.
I agree.
I'll give the bright spots. Boyer did a pretty decent job with the defense. He's turned it around this last week, and I was very pleasantly surprised with it. Maybe he heard me calling him out and saying that he sucks. The other thing is, too, is Javon Holland continues to become a playmaker. He continues to develop in the safety role. He's a ball hawk. He's a captain on that defense, and I'm happy to see that. Teron Armstead stayed healthy the whole game. That's a positive. Our
Big toe and all?
Teron Armstead was absolutely healthy the whole time. And I'll have you know that our penalties for holding and offensive penalties was significantly, drastically cut. We had 5 penalties, I think, for a little over 30 yards that time. That, to me, Mostert, 18 rushes, 79 yards, I think it was. 45
Impressive.
of that was in the first half.
What a blaze and dust.
Oh, and I will say, Jason Sanders is another positive. He had 3 field goals. He nailed all of them. Next gen stats say he was good for 59 on one of them. That's Chris
I like that. It was good for 59 on a 41. I like that.
That's right. I like that. So those are my positives. The negatives are pretty much everything we covered. Tua stunk it up. The run game was non-existent after that. We didn't get Jalen Waddle was involved a little bit. Tyreek Hill we fed, but Tyreek Hill wasn't a game changer this game. Jalen Waddle made pretty good catches. Gesicki coming up with some good catches. He had that one in the end zone that hit him in the face mask. I know people think that he should be traded and should be crucified for that.
So, touching on that point, I'm just going to go ahead and say, just like New England, I don't know if you guys know, I may be a bit of a proponent when it comes to tight end play. You got Gesicki there early, making a good play, pushing the Dolphins into the red zone early, allowing them to get that touchdown. You know, I might just want to say if the Dolphins did that, maybe they have a different record early on, just like the Patriots. I'm going to go ahead and say Gesicki's a good piece. If you keep pushing that and you run that play action and actually have a semblance of a run game, I think you might have something going there in Miami, let alone New England, because God knows we're in trouble.
Well, so Miami wins 16-10. We're now 4-3. We're moving on to Detroit Lions next. We play them next Sunday. The Lions. But, dude, I just want to say this sums up the Patriots night right here. Mac Jones kicks a cornerback in the nuts. The very next play, he throws a pick, and then he is benched. That pretty much summarizes the Patriots game against the Chicago Bears.
So
We're on the pregame show, and Rick and I, Pitt Rick, who joined us in the last episode, were saying that how much is New England going to beat them by? Well, turns out the Bears came in to beat New England.
so let me tell you something here, folks. Did I think I was going to be as right as my prediction when I said, "Hey, Buzz and Rick, calm down over there with your predictions.
Oh,
This is going to be a close game, regardless of them being the Bears." Was I right? No, in fact, I was disgusted by my exact prediction. It wasn't close.
da Bears.
The Patriots were a god awful mess from start to finish, unless you're Zappy. Oh,
Bailey
wait.
Zappi.
No, that didn't exist in the second half. Because guess what? If you're Mac Jones, you break off three pretty good scrambles early on in the first half, and you're sitting here going, hey, I might make a statement here. Zappy, I saw kind of rolled out of the pocket, made some good passes. But if I'm Mac Jones, I scramble, but I forgot how to use my arm. I had a high ankle sprain, which I prove apparently doesn't matter, but I forgot how to throw. As I force it into double coverage, overthrowing a receiver, trying to force it in there and throw a pick enough to get benched as Bill's sitting here rubbing his hands going together. I got another situation where I have a backup quarterback that I can actually implement and potentially get some draft picks down the road. So Bailey Zappi following that drive after the interception as the Patriots come away with nothing. So you already had the Bears going 7-0. Anyhow, it's Zappy time as I see the Patriot fans in the stadium screaming, Zappy, Zappy, Zappy. Little did they know that was the end of the claps right there because the Patriots defense forgot also how to defend themselves. In fact, using vaccinations because instead of clappy, they literally got the clap because that's what I saw in that Patriots defense. They fell apart. They got infected. It was disgusting, and they fell apart. It was an embarrassment. If I'm Bill Belichick, I'm accepting the fact that you may be the worst defensive play caller I've ever seen in my life against a mobile quarterback team. For the second time, they allowed another mobile quarterback to allow over 70 to 100 yards rushing. It's an embarrassment. An embarrassment. I'm sick and tired of it. It's pathetic. And Bill Belichick, yet again, sitting here going, I got a quarterback controversy. And I'm like, can you just coach defense? Can you just do that? That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking you to make Zappy into the next fucking Tom Brady. I'm asking you to coach a defense because all I saw was McCourty allowing Cole Kmet to do a toe tap and Darnell Mooney, also the same factor, for 15 to 20 plus yards against a quarterback that struggles to throw past 16 passes a game. Yeah, we're watching the Patriots defense get torched running, passing, defensively. What a disgrace. Zappy, he comes away with 2 picks. One, I'll say it's not his fault. It was a blocked pass off the defensive line late in the second half of the game. Patriots, if we're just going to make it competitive at this point, we don't even care about the game. It's 33-14, and Zappy throws a pick, a legitimate one. And this is why I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you and I'm going to challenge anyone. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care what you think. Mac Jones is the quarterback of the future for this New England team, and Zappy proved it late in the fourth quarter. He's got every scenario surrounding him. You got Ramondre Stevenson moving the ball at will. You have the secondary. You have the actual defense on the Bears on their heels because they're sitting here backing up going, game's at hand. Don't give up the big play. And you got Zappy rolling out left, looking deep, and throwing an errant throw for no damn reason. No damn reason. And I go, Mac Jones in that situation, He's going to take the check down. You did it all game, Zappy, unless the guy was open by 12 or 15 to 20 yards, which, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and sit there and say you kind of got away with a few of those passes in the first half. Patriots, I'm not falling for it. I'm not stupid. I can read a defense. I watch it on field. I may not be able to do it on Madden, but it was there. It was there. He took advantage of it early. Second half, it wasn't there. Zappy couldn't do it. Mac Jones, give him the back. Patriots are going to get the ball back. You know, they fall to 3-4. Same as the Bears. Think about that, guys. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Speaking of, what quarterback did I just beat you with in Madden, Sean?
Not a good one. That's the answer.
Tua.
Not a good one.
That's right. In case anybody wants to know, I beat Sean in the AFC Championship game 28-27. It was down to the wire.
It was down
game.
to the wire.
Sean was going to go for a 2-point conversion, the old McDaniel, and he didn't get it. So,
but at that point, my defense didn't have a shot. I had 30 seconds left. Unlike the Dolphins' offense, that actually makes sense.
I think I know what the problem is, Sean. You're just upset tonight because the Bulls blew out the Celtics. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Just another disgrace, guys. And I got to say, Celtics had come out hot, and you didn't say anything when they smacked your team on the bottom like a baboon. But, yeah.
Hey, I'm talking ancient history now, huh? Oh, no, the Bulls was tonight. Come on now.
How did Jimmy get buckets go? Oh.
Jimmy's just getting warmed up. A couple games in. Give him some time.
Getting warmed up because the Celtics slapping him on the hot ass there. I know.
Hey, Jimmy will come. Hey, they'll see him in the championship.
Yeah, the guy can't hit an open three-pointer. Yeah. Anyhow,
even in the Eastern.
Listen. Tua does the same over there on the football world.
Well, we got coming up here. It looks like, so Miami, like I said, they're going to be playing the Detroit Lions coming up here on Sunday. It looks like the Patriots.
A struggle fest.
Yeah, the Patriots are going to be playing the Jets, I believe. Yeah, the Jets.
Want to talk about a struggle fest? Nothing's given. Let's just go ahead and say that. Nothing's given here in the AFC East because I think both games are a struggle.
Dolphins play Lions. I know. I'll make my predictions and talk about that on our preview show.
I want to say that, but I'm going to go ahead and give you my early prediction. Patriots blow it. Dolphins blow it.
It's possible. Now, here's what I will say. The Jets have
2 wins to the possible. Tua's got anything possible.
The Jets did lose Breece
concussion, broken ankle, back injury on a concussion, clearly.
Don't forget
possible.
His finger.
David Andrews, I'm sorry. I know I saw a helmet hit David Andrews in the side of his head. But here's the thing. They took him out of the play and checked him in concussion protocol. Guys, if you want to take a note on anything, that's what it looks like. If it looks like it, it feels like it, it's probably what it is.
Sure it wasn't his back?
It's maybe his back because the offense was that bad and he had to carry it, but that's besides the point.
I was waiting for it. So Breece Hall is out for the season now, Sean, but the Jaguars have officially agreed to a trade with the Jets that James Robinson is now a Jet. They are sending a 5th and a 6th round pick.
Thank God. I have another person I can actually gamble on with the Jets offense.
Yeah. You and your $10 and $5, hopefully winning like $3,000, $5,000, and then you get your heart broken at the very end, like always.
Dude, discussing me like David Carr. That's all it took. You have 10 factors going your way, and David Carr, what does he do?
What does Davis Mills do?
Quarterback, throw a big six.
Yeah, Davis Mills.
With the big six. Get your boy Sean here with the extra $5,000. Allow this man to upgrade his vehicle, and he will post-game the shit out of his AFC of the East play calls all day, every day of the week. We'll be
straight
doing them live from the new wheels.
straight from the Krispy Kreme mobile or the Oscar Myers mobile. But either way, we're going to be back at you guys here later in the week with our preview for week 8. Yeah, it's
I
week
know,
8.
crazy.
Wow. So yeah,
Disgusting almost.
week 8 of football.
Nearly at the midpoint.
Halloween is right around the corner, so maybe some of these teams, maybe the Patriots and Dolphins can dress up as really good teams and pretend to be that for Sunday. But regardless, everybody, we are here on YouTube. We are wherever podcasts are available. So go ahead and give us a check out, a review, a comment, whatever you like. We're also on Instagram. So if you like the show, give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe. But until next time, everybody, take care.
Peace.